1.
Welcome back, guys. We're on for our mid-season review. We're joined by 2 guests, Tyler and Jemerrio. Starting off, let's just go through a little recap of this past week. So we have, I think none of us played each other, right? So we could all talk about our individual games, right?
Yeah.
Let's start with you, Tom. You lost to Brian this week, 127 to 101.
Yeah, man, this week was a serious disappointment. I'm not going to lie, because I that was a big week for me. I thought I'd win. But I also know coming into this week, it was the week 7 by apocalypse. My entire team was pretty much on bye. When I look at my entire starting roster, I made a last-minute trade. I don't know if everybody picked that up or saw that, but I made a last-minute trade where I gave up Singletary for Booker, knowing that Singletary was on bye week and I just needed a run. I literally did not have a running back. I had to pick up both my guys. Booker did decent, got 14 points, but I still didn't end up winning. I mean, Mike Evans got 32. Not much I can do against the fucking off-grid Lions. Ever since Brian has heard Donda, dude, it's changed his life. He's a different person now.
Yeah, that Donda thing. We'll see if Jalen Hurts works for him. He seems pretty disappointed in his quarterback, even though he's like the 8th-ranked fantasy player right now.
Yeah.
He's the only quarterback.
So, Jemerrio, what happened with you this week, Jemerrio? What were we at?
I went against a juggernaut, man. I went against a juggernaut. Grease Cobras. I'm not sure who that is. Who's Grease Cobras?
Nick Delario.
Okay, the other. He put up.
Oh, that's who you play this week. That's who you play this week. Okay.
No.
Week 7.
No. So this past week, week 7.
Yeah, week 7. Yeah.
Kobe Beasley.
Another juggernaut.
Yeah, Kobe Beasley.
Yeah, that's similar shit. Put up. I think the league high 157 on me. Wasn't much I could do. Wasn't any matchups I could play that would help me win. I had a lot of players on bye with some injuries.
Bro, this bye week was
ridiculous. He went nasty. He had 2 over project. Fucking with those projections, I thought I would probably win, but he put up 157. Wasn't much I could do, man.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly John too. Fucking Jamal.
You're the Henry owner, the Derrick Henry owner of the league.
Yeah, I got Henry and Lamar. Those are my guys.
Bro, and it's crazy that Derrick Henry had a bad game and he still put up 16 points. Like, he was under-projected, but that's still, a bad game for him. That's still better than most running backs can even put out.
Right. He's been good for me.
So then we had Bishop Sycamore going down to the Nigglers. 113 to 91, man. Yeah, it's always a good week. It's always a good week when Tyler beats Ronnie, right?
Yeah, it's funny because I played him in both my leagues, and I beat him in both. But honestly, I had to scramble to pick up the running back for Dalton because Cook was on bye. I had Cook on a bye, and I was like, honestly, I don't really know who to pick up. Like, it is so hard to get waivers running backs at this point. So I was just like, honestly, the guy was like projected 8, and he got it 6, and I was like, it's whatever. But honestly, I had Burrow on my bench, and he had 32. But I mean, I didn't think that he was going to do that to. I didn't think he was going to do that to Baltimore, and then bad decision that I made. That's why I'm lucky that I won this week because I started Miami's defense. I even bet on Miami's defense in real life. I bet on Miami in real life because I just thought that like Flores. I'm like, as good of a coach he is, it seems like they're back to the wall. Like they gotta win this game. They gotta come out, and they just play like shit, like defensively. They only gave him about 4 points.
Yeah, Felon was a tough start. I had to play him in a different league, and
honestly, the 2 pickups I got from you is one reason why I won this game. Woods gave me the pretty sure the high in my receiver, or Woods gave me 15 and Fournette gave me 16. Shit, it was a low scoring week. That's why I barely won.
Yeah, it's nice to get those. It's nice to get those weeks because, some of those weeks you might have played most of the league and would have lost, but I'm not getting
like on this bye week type shit, yeah.
Yeah, the Bipocalypse. That was me last week when I played Tom. I had Ridley and Kamara and I think another guy or two on a bye. I didn't stand a chance. Like, it was over quick. So then to wrap it up, who we don't have here. So we had the Suicidal Sassos, Cam's team knocking off my dad, putting up 79 points against him. Awful week for him. And the Gabagools, Mikey, again, steamrolling with another win, 124-110 over Steve, big divisional game. And then the game of the week, I got my first win of the season after 7 long weeks. I knocked off the Grease Cobras, the number 1 team in the league, 159-143.
There you go, dude.
I thought I had it in control most of Sunday. My team played pretty good. I thought I was good. And then I'm sitting there at the 4 o'clock games. And I was so mad. Cooper Kupp every 2 fucking minutes. Just, I swear to God, that man must have had like 30 fucking points within like 15 minutes. I was like, I'm going to lose again. I'm fucked. But
him and Mike Evans were like 2 guys you did not want to be going against.
Yeah, dude, fuck Mike Evans this week. Fucking ruined me this week.
But Kamara, my 3rd overall pick, finally gave me my first Monday night win of the season in 4 fantasy leagues. I'm currently, I think, 1-12 on Monday night for the season. Okay. Between 4 fucking leagues.
There you go, dude. There you go.
But it feels good. I'm probably already out, but we'll see if my team can make a late run. But yeah, I mean that win, other than me just getting a first win, was big for the whole league because Delario right now still number 1 in the league at 5-2, number 1 in points. So I kind of helped everybody out there by getting a win against him.
Definitely.
It's
a tight race, no?
So we can move on. Looking forward to this week. It's looking like the big game happening this week is Tyler taking on Nick. The 1 and the 3 right now, the number 1 team and the number 3 team, both at 5-2. This is where things get interesting, man. This is the time of the season where like you can either pull away and knock off that early playoff bid and possibly get that first round bye and that $100 secured for winning your division, or you can hop back down in the middle of the pack with the rest of the league. Right now we have 3 teams at 5-2, and then I think there's 6 teams at 4-3. So it's real tight.
Yeah, this week is going to be interesting. I like how the matchup plays out because I get to see Arizona play on Thursday, so I get to see what his game goes, and then I got Stafford playing Houston.
Oh, bro, that's a bag.
So whatever they're projecting, it's probably gonna go over that. I'm hoping, but I think this is a good game for Green Bay's defense to try to step up and try to actually win. So I'm hoping we get a like a bad Kyler game, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean, dude, bro, looking at it, Kyler's projected 29. Not saying that he can't get that, but as a projection, like that's a huge number for a projection that like he has to live up to.
What's he averaging?
I'm saying,
I know he's killing. Like I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying like that's Matt Stafford could easily equate that. What is this? He's 29, 14, 24, 18, 39, 38. So he can do that.
It's in his range, but that is high.
But I'm just saying with the projection, like. Who knows? Maybe he'll get 22. You know what I mean? Like he'll still have a decent game, but 29's that's just solid. You got to have like 3 touchdowns pretty much, or like over 300 yards and maybe some rushing and touchdowns. Got to have a few touchdowns to hit 29.
Another thing to look at in that matchup is kind of interesting is Delario starting to Ernest Johnson. and they got Chubb coming back, and they play the Steelers. So
Okay.
you can't fault him for trying to ride that wave after that first game. But maybe they'll split time and he takes over that Hunt role and is serviceable and gives you 10 to 20 points and is a good play. But it's very likely that could be a complete dud for him, and Johnson leaves him with not much because that's a tough matchup in Pittsburgh's rush defense. And with Chubb being back, he's not going to get the ball 30 times like he did last week.
I honestly
he'll be lucky to touch the ball 10 times.
Yeah, dude. I think that's a good point because who knows? It could go higher. He's only projected 7, and I think that could be like a factor because if he goes off, like that's a huge advantage for him.
I don't think it's too bad. I think would you play Kareem Hunt now? If it was Kareem Hunt, would you play him?
Well, who's his backup?
Yeah, I mean that's his. He has to play him because he has Edwards-Helaire and Hunt. So like, it's a good play for him. But I'm saying like, it's too early to really tell the trend of what Johnson's fully going to be. Like this week's going to be telling for that.
The 2 Browns receivers are hurt right now, and then you got the quarterback's hurt, so they're probably assuming they're going to probably lean on that run even heavier than usual. Baker's out. I think Jarvis missed practice today, and then you got OBJ was limited today. So
to start Burrow. Just because if you think of the points that both of them, Burrow's going against the Jets.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get the Cooper Kupp fucking touchdown.
But I mean, I was about to say, bro, like you playing Stafford is that's a huge thing because even if Cooper goes off, like you're gonna get some of those points. Like obviously, if he gets like 15 catches and like 200 yards, like it's not gonna equate. But any touchdowns he gets, and
he has to go on.
I mean, the only thing is, if let's say it's a heavy Cooper Kupp game and Woods doesn't go off.
That's true because he's got Woods too. Bro, but if Woods goes off, then you're winning.
Yeah, if it's a Woods game.
Though. That's the thing. You have things to play to your advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Houston. They both could eat. And you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's not like Houston's going to really. Whereas in the Jets game, I don't know. I know Burrow can definitely. He had 32 last week. I don't want to have 2 weeks where he's sitting on my bench and going off.
Yeah, that's an interesting, a good situation to be in at quarterback right there, having those guys the way they're looking right now, Stafford and Burrow.
Yeah,
you might have some.
I got Watson too.
Yeah, Watson.
If something happens, I got I got Watson. I think I got Josh Gordon still.
Gordon.
At the OG Dirtbags. That shit would have won you a title in like 2016.
It's like the Cowboys of the league, just grabbing all the dirtbags.
I mean,
So then let's touch on the other games that we got this week. Ronnie and Steve. We got Ronnie playing Steve 11 versus 4. Ronnie's 1-6. Steve's 4-3. Ronnie's another team that's just hit with the injury bug pretty bad right now.
Yeah.
Steve team's solid, pretty healthy. He's got Josh Allen coming back on a bye. You got some of those studs too that have been playing right now, like Debo and Jonathan Taylor. That should be an interesting matchup. And then who's the other game that we have that's not here? So Brian versus Mikey. Mikey's team, man, it's such a weird team. He has Devontae out with COVID.
Dude,
so that could definitely help Brian grab an advantage there.
He lives and dies by Devontae, but not that his team isn't bad or isn't good otherwise, but that'd be a devastation to his team.
And Brian has Chubb coming back from injury. So we should see how that plays out. I think Brian is sitting with 3 wins. Brian's 3-4. Mikey's 4-3.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pivotal week. We're at the midpoint. There's a lot of people in the mid-table that a lot of these games are going to decide who goes up and down, like you were saying. Like, a lot of these games, we're only a game within each other. A lot of these guys were playing each other this week.
Yeah, and then we have Tom versus my dad.
Fuck yeah.
It should be a very interesting matchup there.
Yeah, I can go into that. I'm looking forward to this shit. I think an interesting point that I'm going to be thinking about your dad's team the rest of the year is we looked into this earlier, but 3 times out of the last 9 winners of this league, they had the 9th overall pick. And your dad had the 9th overall pick this year, so I'm going to keep an eye out for him. But in terms of this straight-up matchup, I'm hoping Aaron Rodgers can still perform, and I don't think he'll completely be trash. I'm really hoping he won't be. But it's really coming down to other guys that I have on my team that I'm expecting to do essentially like go off. Like Stephon Diggs has not been bad for me at all. Like he is getting like about 15. Like his floor is really good. But I'm waiting for that 30-point game, and I think this week against Miami could be that game, and that'd be huge for me. Considering I also have Buffalo's defense, if they can completely just shut up Miami, that'd be great. On the flip side or on the other end, looking at him, like he's got Mahomes and Kelsey and Butker. So he's like, if Kansas City has a big rebound game, which I'm expecting them to Monday night against the fucking Giants, like they should smack the Giants. Even though with everything that's happened with the Chiefs right now, like Monday night against the Giants, it's a perfect rebound game for them. I wouldn't be surprised if Mahomes gets more than his projected of 28. And CeeDee Lamb coming off a bye, he's doing his thing. I honestly think this game comes down to our quarterbacks. Like if Aaron Rodgers does not perform how he's been doing this whole year, he completely flops. I got no shot. And on the opposite end, like if Mahomes has another terrible week, like your dad doesn't really have a shot against me. But I think this is a big game. I'm looking forward to winning because I need to get up in the leaderboards. I think right now I'm in the 7th place. I'd be out of the playoffs. So I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, my dad went 1-2 with Mahomes and Kelsey in the draft, and went pretty slim at the running back position. And right now, he had Jacobs and Miles Sanders both go down, so he might start to see that slim running back depth right now kind of hurt him in the coming weeks if those guys can't play. I don't know the severity of Jacobs' injury. Do you know anything with that, Jemerrio? Like what's going on with that?
He has a chest injury. They haven't updated because they don't have to update because he's on a bye. So we probably won't hear nothing back.
Oh, they're on a bye this week?
Yeah, so we probably won't hear nothing until Monday.
So we'll see. He might have saved himself by grabbing one of the best free agent pickups this season in Cordell Patterson.
Oh,
I know.
He's the best by far.
Fucking cheat. The guy's 80 years old. 80 years old.
Running back.
So the next matchup, we could glance over Jemerrio's.
Yeah, man.
Jemerrio's a big week for you. 2-5.
2-5.
You get the win. You can throw yourself right back up in the mix. If not, then you're sitting with me and Ronnie at the bottom.
Yeah, this is the week for me, and unfortunately, I have Lamar sitting out on a bye. He's a big playmaker for me, obviously, and I got a couple key matchups that I think may overproject. Like I think Teddy Bridgewater going against the Washington's 30th ranked defense. I think pass defense. I think he's going to give them a little more than 20 more points they got me projected at. He has a couple hitters. He has Tyreek going against the Giants. And that's a good matchup for him. He has a very, it looks like front loaded team right now because his running back is RB2 and his flex doesn't scare me too much. I'm hoping I get a couple over projections. I got Gibson. I'm hoping he gives me more than what he's been giving me. I hope he gives me like a RB1 high end game versus the mid tier RB2 he's been giving me kind of. And Derrick Henry. Mm-hmm. He's liable to save my season this week. You know what I mean? Going against Indiana. So
yeah.
I got some tough plays. I'm fighting an uphill battle. But if I win this, I think I'm at 9th place is 3-5 off Great Lions. Hopefully he loses. I think he's playing your brother.
Yeah. Mikey.
I wish Devontae was playing this week because I have him in the league and it would help me. Your brother win, and that will help me tie up at 3-5. I'm sitting right there at 850 points, and he has 848, so that would help me get that 9th place and start getting that momentum. But man, it's an uphill battle for sure. But I think a couple of my guys, I'm betting on Herbert and Gibson, give me more. I think I might play Tony over Landry. I think Landry's hurt, so we'll see. I think Tony, the Giants going against the Chiefs' bad defense might work in my favor.
Looks like we got I didn't even realize you have him rostered too. Jerry Jeudy coming back from injury probably this week, so that might help your Bridgewater play. But that should be interesting. I have him in a league too. I'm hoping he can return to form. I have him in a dynasty league, and I really hope. And that first game, he was looking good until he got hurt. But it sucks, man. I really believe in Jerry Jeudy, and that early injury just like put a damper. And I think a season that was headed to be a career-changing season.
Yeah,
I think he really was going to turn the tide this year.
And, Bridgewater works good with those intermediate route runner type receivers like Jeudy, man. Bridgewater really those his kind of guys. So man, if he can come back, I think it'll be nice.
Yeah, so the last matchup we got, again, pretty much I'm in the same place as I was last week, saving my season and helping everybody else out in the league. I had the first place team last week, the second place team this week. I'd play Adam Buds. I'm really starting to feel good about my team, honestly. I haven't most of the season, but I feel like most of these guys are starting to return into form. I'm in a situation too. My weakest situation is my quarterback with Derek Carr and Tannehill. I got Carr on a bye this week, so I'm playing Tannehill again. But A.J. Brown doing what he did last week gives me some hope that I didn't fully get raped on that trade I made with Tyler in week 2.
What was that trade?
I gave him, for anybody that doesn't remember, I gave him Robert Woods and Leonard Fournette for A.J. Brown and Jamal Williams. Yeah, and A.J. Brown really hasn't lived up to that RB or wide receiver 2 that I was looking at him at. But 28 points last week. We'll see what happens. I'm 1-6. All I need is a good end of the season. That's the only thing I can hope for. Most of my team is just a tale of 2 seasons. I had DJ Moore. Looked like he was going to be one of the best receivers the first 3 weeks, and now Darnold can't throw the ball for more than 100 yards for the first 3.5 quarters of any game. Kamara is finally looking like a top first-round pick that I drafted him at. Ridley, another guy who just still hasn't done it yet, but he's one of those guys too. Like, what can you do with Calvin Ridley? Like, you can't. It's hard to bench him right now.
Positive reinforcement is all you can do at this point, dude.
You got to hope for some progression to the average, man.
Or get rid of him. Or get rid of him, dude. I'll give you I don't know. I'll give you somebody for him.
Nah, honestly, my season savers have been Dalton Schultz and my Raiders.
Just picked him up from other league. I couldn't believe that.
I can't believe he's still sitting there. He's like the tight end 3 or 4 on the season.
Somebody dropped him, I think, because they had to or something late minute, and I picked him up. I couldn't believe it.
Who's that?
One of the worst players, but at the same time the best player to have rostered is Henry Ruggs. That man.
I don't want him. I don't want
there's
him.
not.
I don't want him. I don't want
There's
him.
not many times that guy. He's either not going to catch shit for most of the game, or he'll give you 17 points on one play. That's exactly
real quick before we get into talking about some of these like boom and bust, let's just wrap up this game and also address the fact that you're essentially playing the Cowboys this week, and you got to root against the Cowboys in order to win fantasy this week. And we can wrap that up.
Yeah. Dak is hopefully he doesn't play
against Dak, Amari, and Zerline.
Yeah, just hope Amari doesn't do what he did week 1, because Amari hasn't been a crazy fantasy start for most of the season. Week 1 he had like 36 points, but since that That's the hard thing with any of the Cowboys you have. You don't know somebody's gonna get the load. You just don't know who it's gonna be.
Amari's good for 200 games like a season. You just don't know when they're gonna be. Like he's just good for those random. Hopefully not this week.
And to be honest with you, I'm not highly confident of playing Minnesota this week. I think Minnesota can definitely beat Dallas this week.
You're just saying
it's a major.
You're playing against them in fantasy.
I'm playing Kirk Cousins all over. If you have a Vikings player, play him. If you have anybody, play. Even with all the turnovers, the same thing that stands this year that stood for last year. Play your guys against Dallas's defense. They're going to put up fantasy points no matter what. Yeah, especially if they're quarterbacks or receivers. But yeah, I mean, there's really nothing else to talk about. Adam's team's stacked. He has a great team.
He does.
He's second place right now. Jamar Chase, Eckler, Connor, Godwin. His whole team is playing great. So I just gotta hope he has a little dud, and maybe I can have another 160-point week like I did last week.
Yeah, bro, you never know.
So yeah, basically where we're at. So we're at week. That was the review going into week 8. The way the playoff picture looks right now, if the season ended today, we'd have Delario and Adam Buds with the byes winning the conference, and then the wild card games would be Tyler with the 3 seed playing Mikey at the 6 seed, and Steve and Cam going for that 4 and 5 spot.
Yeah, I do. I think a good way. I think we want to start with Tyler. I think a good way to look at this and kind of approach this is just like, how do you feel about your team right now, where it stands, and do you think that like within your conference, are you overperforming, underperforming? Are you better in certain teams? And I think a good way is kind of like analyze it, looking at it through that spectrum at this point right now. And yeah, I think having you guys here too, we can kind of just talk about it and discuss like where everybody's at. If I were to make like a top 6 power rankings, if we're going to do like a playoff picture, ignoring records or anything, just looking at it in terms of power rankings, like I do think that Delario's team is the best team. He's got the most points for week in, week out. He's been looking good. He's got a couple games he dropped with points against him, but I think Grease Cobras, FC number 1. I'd put Adam at number 2. So the division conference winners at this point, I'd still put them at 1, 2. And then after that, looking at it, like Tyler's coming at 3. It's pretty much how it is looking. The top 3 are the same, but when you look at 4, 5, 6, that's where it gets interesting because a lot of us were 4 and 3. Like the rest, there's a whole, I think 5, 6 of us, I think, if I'm looking at correct, that are 4 and 3. And so at 4, I think Steve's team is looking good. And then I think Mikey's team, honestly, it literally comes down to Devontae. Like, if Devontae is going to stay healthy, is going to continue to ride this wave, like, he'll be in the playoffs. So he has to make the top 6. I'll put him at 5 there. And I'm going to just put myself at 6 because I want to make the top 6. I got there at 4 and 3. But I think this is a pivotal point in the season. We have a lot of guys who are 4 and 3, 3 and 4, and 2. We're just a game apart. Nobody's got really fallen off yet. Next week, it'll be that case. Like, if you lose, Ronnie loses again. If some of these guys who are at the lower end or higher team, if they win or lose, it really kind of divides the pack. But we're really at a pivotal moment right now, I think.
No, that's for sure. I mean, over underperform just because even when I look back, I mean, I've had a game by a couple points. So we can go either way, but for the most part, it seems like my team is doing all right. Yeah, I lost by 3 points to Gavin Ghouls, and then I beat Chris Title Sassos, I think, by a point. So I mean, either way it goes, I think my team's just probably one of the better teams that I've drafted over the years. So, I mean, I'm impressed. I'm happy where I'm at 2. I'm comfortable, I feel like.
Yeah. I think
Even
your
if I
team's
fell
solid. I
off,
think your
I could
team's definitely
probably
making the
still
playoffs.
make playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have just where you are right now, even if it happens. Like, you're at a good spot midway that, like, 5-2, you can afford a loss or two if it happened.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and another thing too with where we are currently with the 6 teams that are in the 6 spots, they're all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in points right now. So the league's kind of shaping out record-wise with where people are producing points.
Makes sense.
And Tom's at 7, and then that's where it starts to get a little muddled with record because Jemerrio is 8th in points, but you're what, 2 and 5?
We're just 10th overall, yeah.
Yeah.
And I did some mismatches
yeah,
earlier, man. I felt like similar to what Tyler was saying. Like there was definitely like 1 or 2 matchups where I was like, I left some points on the bench. I'm like, damn. You know, we're early on in the season, you're still trying to figure out who's who, what's what. And I definitely did some mismanaging there. But I think Judy coming back, Jarvis coming back would be big for me in my receiving positions and give me some more options to play around with when matchups come around. Because I liked all my players, but I couldn't really mess around with the matchups early on. Now with the players coming back healthy, I can kind of play to that a little more. I think similar to what Tom was saying, there's those 2 guys at the top. I think they're way out of anything I could do. But what I think I'm close to Tom. I think your brother's team. I don't have that much confidence in his team. I think he's going to riddle down, and I think a lot of the rest of it is the middle tier is like it's like Tom was saying. It's like 850, 848, 873. You got the 885. It's like all very close. Like this is reminds like the old school NFC East, like when everybody was like 8-8 or something. Like we're just trying to figure out who's gonna break through. And I feel like if I can get a couple good RB1 games out of Gibson, that'll be what can change my season. Like honestly, if I can get him to get some touchdowns, some of those touchdowns in the goal line, like some of those kind of plays, that can really change my season. Because Derrick Henry and Lamar, they're gonna do me some, like they're gonna carry me most of the way. You know what I mean? I'm very front heavy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's some 2 good superstars to have and relying for consistency.
Bro, Derrick Henry,
I got a question for you, Nick.
Yeah, like
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You made the schedule and you customized it, right?
Yeah.
How do you think it played out? Like, is this what you expected? It's obviously not as far as your record is concerned, but as like the competition level in the league and like how the matchups are playing, and opposed to the random generated like schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I customized it. I talked about it with Tom earlier. I customized it to fit the conference format. So, like, we're not playing random people randomized twice in the season. Like, those games are who you're playing twice is like calculated, and that's why we have the standing structure, so that there's 3 people now in your division you play twice. But in terms of creating the schedule, I wish I knew what the fuck was going to happen before, because when we were looking at the league history earlier, I'm on pace right now to break the historical record of most points against in a season. I'm averaging 143 points scored on me right now. So if I fucked anybody with the way I customized the schedule, I fucked myself.
It's hard to say. It's weird to request do that because you're like, it's not really going your way. You haven't really seen how much success, but it's like, I mean, as far as like maybe what you thought how shit would go out or how the competition.
In terms of like clear up like how I do that, I literally like I have a website that generates it all, and pretty much the only game that I specifically pick is your week 1 matchup. I pick whoever your rival is week 1, and then I pick what other 2 weeks you'll play that person twice.
That's cool.
Yeah. So basically, for anybody that doesn't know, whoever you played week 1, 2, and 7 this past week that we played, those are the teams that you'll play again towards the end of the season.
Nice. In my case, it'll be Ronnie.
Yeah, whoever you just played this past week is the last game.
Yeah, that's nice.
But yeah, it adds its own like unique little sprinkle into the league. Yeah, I mean, for me too, just to piggyback on what you guys are saying in terms of like the complexion and power rankings right now, everything's so close. Even I agree with what everybody said, Delario and Adam right at the top. Personally, if I'm looking at it and power ranking it, I would probably put Adam.
Well, how about,
I just think.
What if we did your predictions, like top 6, like who you think is going to make the playoffs?
Yeah.
Instead of just power rankings, we can revisit this at the end of the year and be like, what did we get right, or instead of just trying to see where they're at right now, let's give our top 6 in terms of conference.
I'll go with Adam. With Adam is the 1 seed. I think okay. Delario and Adam both get the bye, but I think Adam will win more games than him. And so I have Adam at 1, Delario at 2. I think Tyler will hold down the 3. And then I think Tom will, as much as I hate to say it, this is my prediction. Tom will make it as the 4 seed, and this will be the first year that he doesn't make the championship. Makes the playoffs, might make the semis. But I feel like there's got to be a year that he gets in and doesn't make the championship. So I go with Tom as the 4 seed, Steve at the 5, and I'm going to go with Cam. Even though I don't love his team, I think Cam's going to make it as a 6 because 7 straight seasons. Can I cheat right now? Can I say it's going to be Cam or Jemerrio as the 6th seed? I don't know which one, but one of them will make it in as the 6th. You know what? I'll change that. Jemerrio makes a run, and he gets it as the 6th seed. He has a stronger team than Cam. But my reasoning behind that is because 7 straight seasons in this league, a team that wasn't in the league the past year has made the playoffs. And I think that stands this year.
One of you guys
I think the only options are Jemerrio and Cam, the only 2 members that weren't in the league last year. So I'll go with Jemerrio with the 6th seed. I feel like Derrick Henry will get you in.
Dude, I believe
so yeah, so Adam 1, Delario 2, Ty 3, Tom 4, Steve 5, Jemerrio 6. And I think I'll end ridiculously as like this 7 or 8 seed somehow and hardly miss the playoffs.
You think you'll win the Constellation Bowl?
Yeah, I'll win $50 back. We'll see. I feel like my team's just going to get hot at the end of the season for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah, if I had to redo mine, I'm going to just officially redo it where it's like I'm going to have Delario still at 1. His team is just putting up the points, and I think at the end of the season, he's going to be the team with the most points, and he'll win out in that division. In our division, I'm going to put Adam's team there because he's got a lot of depth. I think he's got a lot of matchup potential going forward where I think he's going to be in a good spot. If it wasn't, I'm really tempted, but I don't know. All right, so I'm going to put Adam at 2. I'll go Delario, Adam. At 3, I'm putting myself. So I was really debating to put myself at number 1 for the conference because I feel like I was looking at the schedule. I play Adam again. There's some critical matchups going forward in my schedule that if I win them and they have some certain people out that I could win. But right off the bat, I'm just going to say that I'm 3. I put Tyler at 4. It seems solid too. And then with the 5 and the 6 spot remaining, like you said, either Jemerrio or Cam have to get in. And what I'm predicting is that both of them get in. Cam at 5, Jemerrio at 6.
So it's going to drop Steven out from where we stand right now?
I think it will, and I think Brian is going to drop out. There's some critical matchups going forward. They have big scoring potentials. The biggest thing the only thing that I could predict right now, and I'm not the reason why I'm not putting Mikey is the same reason why you could put Mikey in there is because of Devontae. He's living and dying by him.
Yeah, and
I just don't think.
And Brady. And
it's not even that they're going to do bad, but how will they be with the extra game just towards the end of the season? Are they going to, with playoffs, they're going to be playoff teams. Are they going to be taking it easier? I just don't know, And also COVID's always an issue. Devontae's out this week. We don't know how that's going to really affect the Packers' performance and whatnot, but I think that's something that he's going to be living and dying by him. And Steve is in the same position where it's Josh Allen. But so my top 6 would be Delario, Adam, me, Tyler, and then I was gonna put Cam and Jemerrio. Actually, now I'm looking at it, I gotta put your dad in the top 6, dude. If he had the 9th pick, and I'm pretty convinced that he's got to go to at least the playoffs. So I have to actually put him in there. I'm gonna put him at 6 I'm gonna put him at 5 and put Jemerrio at 6. Because actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if I had to pick between Jemerrio and Cam's team, Cam with the Russell Wilson injury is going to affect the team going forward. It's going to be a big loss for him.
It's weaker. His running back spots.
His running back spots are weak. I know he is coming back. I'm not liking
Cam's matchups coming up.
Yeah, like he's just got tough matchups. So that's what
he got the real tough end of the Vikings schedule coming up. He got Baltimore, Green Bay. And his running backs to me don't seem solid. Like Mike Davis, I don't think he ain't it. And he got Swift, who's been damn near hurt all year and splitting time, who will be on a bye. He's gonna be in trouble in week 9 because I don't even know who's gonna start at running back on his current roster.
Yeah, I mean
they're way over projecting T.Y. Hilton. Who's his backup running back?
Yeah,
he got A.J. Dillon.
Yeah, he's.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he got matchups where he's gonna have. Week 9 is gonna be hard. He's gonna have Cousins going against Baltimore, Tyreek Hill going against Green Bay, which isn't bad unless, Jair is on him or I don't know.
Dude, but the thing about Cam's team, and I think this is to your point where it's just like, Cam's got some hitters on his team. Like, he's got Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, but at the same time, there's no depth, really. Like, if any of those guys are injured or if there's a bye week happening, like, his team really quickly becomes bad.
It's the same. He's got very similar in the way this team is structured as Mike's team. They just don't have any depth.
Yeah, like they have a couple guys that can really put up good numbers, but it's not really spread out across the entire team.
Yeah, Mike's team's running backs are really they're all damn near banged up besides Pollard, who splits time.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I meant my brother Mikey.
Oh, okay.
Dude, running backs. This is where running backs also become fucking scarce in the league, man.
Well, you just fucking.
Right.
You're trying to hope somebody breaks.
I mean, dude, that's what happened to me last week. I made a last-minute trade for Booker because there was nobody. I mean, I picked up Bolden, but that was just because he was the only potential maybe option when doesn't really have a defined role in New England. He was kind of like their backup there. So he got me. I mean, he had 19 points, but there's no running backs you get in the waiver wires unless you get lucky or you pick them up at the right time. It's so hard.
Yeah, no.
It's
getting slim.
Yeah. And I think, dude, looking at Cam's team, though, honestly, Pitt's going off is a huge one. But, yeah, dude, it's the running backs, man. At this point in the season, if you don't have good running backs, it's a liability.
I mean, his team's structured to the point where he has to start Mike Davis every week, and
yeah, dude.
I don't know.
I want to be doing that.
Yeah,
no, I have Mike Davis in my worst team in any league I'm in, and I don't even play him in that league.
Yeah, not with Cordell 6 taking over that backfield.
And then it's weird because it's Patterson's damn near starting. I don't know Mike Davis.
Yeah. Wait, bro. So what's your top 6?
Me?
Yeah.
It's damn near. I mean, that ain't too much movement from what I see right now. I think you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
They're cutting out
A little bit. It's Sorry.
Honestly.
It's post-production, guys. We'll edit it in post.
I like. You see, I mean, I'm definitely like Cobras at 1.
COVID.
Yeah, COVID Beasley. No, I like Cobras at 1 and then COVID Beasley. I like where I'm at 3. Like, I feel like they'll probably stand all the way to playoffs. I like Tom's team. And then when it gets real, it's kind of hard because then it's like Cam and Steve's team.
Steve's
like all the teams that are 4-3, I really don't think who's like I don't believe in team. I'm 4-3.
Yo.
Yo.
You cut off the last sentence you said there.
So I don't believe it. Out of all the 4-3 teams, I don't believe in Cam's team the most. I think he's going to drop him.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think is Mike's team ahead of him? Is that right? Your dad's team's ahead of him?
Cam's at 5. No, yeah, my dad's not.
Your dad's out.
He's 8th in the standings right now.
Who's that? I'm sorry, shit show.
Yeah, Steve's team.
Yeah, Steve. His team is the other team that okay. I feel like that division. I feel like everybody in my division is kind of up high besides Cobras, but then I feel like Steve is 5 or 6 no matter what. And I feel like our division is way better than anyone who's going to come out of that on the other side of all those 4.
I do feel like our division is way better too. I feel like our division is a better half of the league.
Yeah. It's like those guys, it don't matter, but I believe in his team more, a little bit more than Cam looking at his players.
Yeah, man.
Where do you go?
We'll see. Like I said, I think right now it's really you got the power 3, and everything after that is kind of just a shit show. It's really
The thing is, it's easy to say that right now, though, but we're only 1 game out. Like, if I win this week and, like, Adam loses or Tyler, like, all of a sudden, I'm in top recovery. We're not, like, it's not like we have one team right now that's 7-0.
The records are so close.
Yeah, that's what it's like. If we had one team right now that was 7-0 or even 6-1, I'd be like, that guy is winning. That guy is going, like, he is the one. But right now, like, dude, Adam could end up losing a bunch of games and not even make the playoffs. Tyler's in this, like, we're all so close. Where it's like, I'm not even saying his team's bad, but, like, like, we're
sitting here last year. Brian was 5-1 last year, and he finished 6-7 and missed the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying.
But I think their teams are like, who's Adam?
COVID Beasley, yeah.
Yeah, like, because he
nice.
doesn't have Saquon. He hasn't even had Saquon playing.
Nah, dude, because the other guys have just been Jamar Chase has been turning it up for him.
No, Saquon's been hurt.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, he's just been playing Connor. If he puts Saquon in over Connor,
he's just been plugging and playing random guys throughout there.
Well, Connor's a good RB3. Like, he has a good Elijah Mitchell's going to start turning up. Like, he has a good depth at RB.
Yeah. I don't even know when Saquon comes back if he's going to even be starting in that rotation that he has there.
That's when he could do the matchup play. That's when he can, just pick and play for real. So he does. I think he'll finish 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the other guy will finish 2.
Cobras.
The Cobras will finish 2. I like Cobras' team, but his is like, man, Cup. I don't know if he's gonna keep that pace up. Like, I know it sounds like I'm hating, but like, he doesn't have as much depth as the Adam to me.
Yeah.
So I think his is gonna level out just slightly. I think he's gonna level out slightly. And I think Tyler's team's comparable to his team, honestly, because Tyler, like Fournette and Cook, those are some nice. Those can carry you through. Stafford and Woods, and I think Keenan Allen's going to start performing. So I think he's going to finish. I think he's going to finish 3rd. I think you're going to finish 3rd, And
That's what I feel like too.
Keenan Allen's gonna. I don't think Mike Williams is gonna hog all the
3 4 is probably the same for me, but I'm not in some position.
Then who's shit show?
He's got Josh Allen and
Debo and Metcalf. Yeah, he has a nice ass.
his team's nice.
I think he'll probably finish 4th or 5th, and then that's when it gets kind of like this is when those key matchups again when we're playing each other with these tied records kind of come in. But I think that's when Tom will finish like 5th, and then 6th. Hopefully myself, man. That's how I feel how it's gonna play out.
Yeah.
That's how I feel like it's gonna play out. I feel like Lamar and Derek is gonna go carry me the way. And I think my receivers coming back, those are 2 solid wide receiver twos coming back, Judy and Landry. I think they'll give me that consistency in my roster, give me that 6th spot.
Yeah, I mean, we need you or Cam to get in to continue that trend.
One of you guys are getting in. It's just what it is. I think it'll be you because I honestly think that our conference is better. I think the teams are better. Even with Ronnie being 1-6, like his team is not bad. It's just been injury prone. He's been getting unlucky. He's got a lot of points against him in some weeks where he's put up good points. But you never know, man. You never know. It's fantasy. Anything
all it takes is one injury here and there.
Just fantasy. Injuries can't be really an excuse in fantasy. Everybody deals with them.
That's what I'm saying. Injuries could change the whole standing. Like I think.
Another thing too is just showing you what 1 week. What 1 week can do in fantasy in terms of like the whole complexion of the standings in the league. Like,
because we could
just 2 people, literally just 2 people, me and my dad, what we did this week completely narrowed the gap of the whole league. I was like 100 points behind in points, but I put up the most points in the league this week. I had almost 160 points. Yeah. My dad had 79. He went from probably being in terms of points right in the mix with you guys to being at the bottom of the barrel. Now, like, me, Ronnie, and my dad are all within a point of each other for last in points. When it was, like, just a week ago, the margin was, like, probably 60, 70 points.
Yeah.
That was, like, the craziest bye week in history, though, or some shit like that. That was crazy. You even out there. I mean, we needed you to get that win bad.
Yeah, we did need that, dude. I'm glad you got that win.
It's coming this week, too. If I could do it 2 weeks in a row, I'm just narrowing the whole league.
I hope so, man. I hope so. But, man, I feel bad for anybody who, like, the Giants, like, the 49ers backfield. It's like, what's going on with the Giants receivers and the 49ers backfield?
It's in the entire Jets team.
Like, man, the
entire bro. Who's gonna be the quarterback for the Jets next year, dude? Like some guy that's not even in the league right now, or Joe Flacco? What are the odds?
Hopefully,
last Super Bowl they won was with the Joe.
I don't understand what they did that. I don't understand why they got Flacco.
For veteran leadership, that's it.
Bro, it's like getting those badges.
He wasn't even a leader. He wasn't even a leader on that Baltimore team. It was Ray Lewis.
He threw 13 touchdowns, like 0 interceptions, though. Shit, that playoff run.
Yeah, he got hot, got paid, and broke that team.
He did. He got his money and he said, I'm good.
Bro, you think Aaron Rodgers will land in the Jets next year?
Fuck, man. He ain't going to no shitty organization, bro.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to play in New Jersey.
He's going to Pittsburgh.
He should go to Pittsburgh. That'd be fucking so raw if he went to Pittsburgh.
He's going to Pittsburgh.
Bro, he should come to Chicago and really own Chicago.
He's going to Pittsburgh. I mean, Pittsburgh or like Tennessee, but I think more Pittsburgh.
Nah, I think Pittsburgh is a better.
You finally got a black quarterback.
Kick Ben. Kick Ben out of there.
Nobody want to see his ass next year. We don't want to see him this year.
Yeah, I don't even know if he'll finish this year.
That's what I'm saying. He better just call it. You had a good run.
Great. Ben one of my favorite quarterbacks. He's his arms.
Like looking back, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he can make some of those big throws every now and then, man. It's just like he checking.
He's just too old.
Too much.
It's just, I mean, people forget, like, Big Ben was pretty untackable. He was what Josh Allen, he was pretty untackable.
Yeah. Now he's getting.
He's He was an old guy in the pocket getting hit.
He's a statue.
He's a statue. Old Big Ben used to spin up. Then it was stiffy all that shit.
Then maybe he'll go to fucking Oakland or Las Vegas.
Oakland.
Yeah, come on,
Oakland.
Vegas.
People want to call them Oakland, man, but they're Vegas now. They have been Vegas.
When are you going to a game in Vegas, Jemerrio?
Man, I'll probably going back out west. Probably LA for my birthday. But maybe I'll slide out there around that time.
Bro,
The stadium's so nice, man. My boy Chris, he went to I think the Ravens game or something.
Oh, shit.
He was out there for work or some shit.
But yeah, man, I think we're almost to the end here. If you want to cut, last thing we can really talk about are, want to talk about the trades. There's only been 3 trades that have happened this season so far.
You guys usually have
We
a
could talk-
history or?
yes and
What?
no. Yes,
No,
it's
some-
been up and down.
No, some leagues are just there's some leagues you tend to feel like there's not a lot. Some leagues, guys are more.
No, the thing
I
about
don't
our
know.
league is that it's not that trades, they don't happen too often, but there are players who do trades every year. I put it like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of players
Yeah.
who never do shit with trades, and it's not that it's not there's a lot
I
of
feel
trades
like
going
I'm
on.
traded every year.
But somebody gets traded every year, and there's a couple players who always like me and Nick. I feel like we're always making a trade every single year. I think Tyler makes a trade
I think
every
me-
year.
Me and Tyler make a trade we made a trade last year.
Yeah,
I think, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always for trades, but I usually like to, you know what I'm saying, give somebody something that they can use on the trades or try to get, value back. But sometimes, like when we made that trade, I didn't foresee. I had a feeling that Fournette was going to be the number one, but it was still kind of in the air with like Rojo and Bernard, and it just so happened that
Was that
Bernard
week one?
and Rojo kept fumbling and shit. And once Fournette had that Thursday night, then I was like, yeah, just that game, because he won me that week alone. So I was like, yeah, he already paid for whatever, just with that alone.
Well, at the time too, you had drafted Gus Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't have a number 2 running back. You were playing Jamal Williams in year 2. And I had Fournette on my bench because I had Kamara in Montgomery. So I was like, it was such a good negotiation because I literally, what I offer you, like AJ Brown for a Woods straight up, and then you come back and you're like, just include Fournette for a running back. And I was attacking AJ Brown because I wanted to cuff him and Tannehill.
Exactly.
And the next week he pulled his hamstring on the first drive.
Fournette goes for 30. Robert Woods has that one game
against me.
when he had like 16 guys.
That's great.
And that was the same week. That was the same week that I was up by 40 points going into Monday night.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was up by 40 points going into Monday night, and Tyler had Hollywood Brown and Mark Andrews and put up 84 points on Monday night on me.
And Blankenship.
Yeah, Blankenship.
Blankenship too.
that's fucking hilarious, bro.
It was
I had put up 170. Yeah, I put up
I saw
173.
170 game. I think I saw like 172. What the fuck?
There's 2 teams. Brian put up 171 that week. So there were 2 teams that week that put top 2 scoring point games of the season the same week.
Wow.
We looked at it earlier.
Did they have some cross-functional?
Was it
players?
Tyler? No, it was Mikey. Mikey has the all-time record in points in a single game. Like 2 years ago, he put up 213 one week.
Bro, Mikey, yeah, I'm about to pull that up.
And Mikey also leads the league and total points scored for the past 2 seasons.
Oh, Mikey just got some unreal records. When we were looking at the record book, it's
Will
like
Chamberlain of the league. Got all the records, but not all the chips. You're like Bill Russell.
yeah, team stats.
Tom got like 10 chips.
Where is the
I didn't even
one?
know they kept the record page. I gotta check my shit out.
Yeah, single week all time, like single week rushing yards all time, 420. That was back in 2012, way back when. But he had this. What did he do recently?
The most points in a game.
Oh, that's what it was.
213.
I'm looking at the wrong category. Yeah, this shit. 2019. This was him. 213 in a game.
Wow, yeah, that's nuts, man.
Yeah,
That's nuts because I haven't seen anything like that in this league.
213 is kind of. That's high.
Was
Does it show his roster?
Yeah, I can click on it right now. Hold up.
That's crazy.
Week 6, 2019. This is week 16. Not this season. Change that. This is not showing me the right week. Yeah, 213. All right, here we go. So he had Aaron Rodgers. Bro, what? He didn't even play all his guys.
I'm dead.
Bro, are you guys still there? Nick, did you freeze?
That's crazy.
Are you guys looking at
Can you
this
hear
shit?
me?
No way.
Yeah, bro. Are you guys right there? Oh my god, dude. He didn't even. He had Stephon Diggs and Kenyon Drake on bye, and he still fucking hit that, dude. What the fuck,
What?
dude?
Yeah.
Yo, what? Yo. I mean, it's because his defense got 29 points.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. I'm like, that doesn't equal.
That
Yeah,
is
dude.
crazy, dude.
What was it? The Patriots defense?
Yeah.
He always has the Patriots defense.
What do they have, like 3 block hits and a return? What the fuck? Oh my god.
That is wild, fucking Mikey,
Who-
dude.
Who did he play against that week?
Hold on. Patriots had a sack, 3 interceptions, a fumble recovery, and 2 touchdowns that week. Patriots played against the Giants that week. That is fucking crazy, dude. He played against Steve and practically doubled his score, bro. Oh, shit. Nick just died.
They were in charge of his phone.
No, it was my streaming was timed out for some reason.
Oh, shit, okay. Yeah, but did you hear me?
So who did Mikey play that week?
He played Steve,
No.
who had 112 points. He damn near fucking doubled his fucking scoreline. 112 isn't even a bad scoreline, though, but it's fucking crazy, dude.
You have on the bench?
Nick
This is
Chubb went
wild.
off. Austin Hooper went off. Godwin went off. Yeah, dude, your brother is coming through with some shit, dude. I don't know what it is, man. It's ever since Washington became the football team, dude, or ever since they started talking about it. He was asked when they were the Redskins, but now that they're the full-time the football team, everything has changed with him in fantasy.
Mikey Snyder.
Fucking
Mikey Snyder.
Bro, if we had some emails leaked, you don't even understand what would come out from Mikey in our Snapchat group and other group chats we have over the years.
Oh my god.
We can't.
We should do a Gruden leak of Mikey.
Oh, what are we gonna leak it to, dude? Who's gonna give a fuck?
Devontae. That's Devontae.
Oh, that's what you're in here for. That's you right there, Leroy Trump.
Oh yeah, damn! I have
A win streak record, 8 games. You're tied with somebody else. 2016, 8-game win streak.
Okay, I'm in there.
The last time you were in here, yeah. That was the record, yeah, you
I'll be
had.
right back.
Leroy the Trump.
Yeah. This is some random week, but yeah, you had to get that. That was back when Odell was actually producing.
I had Tyreek early. I had Cooper.
Yeah, you had a nice team here. Jordan Reed.
That was my guy back in the day for fantasy tight ends. If he could, when he was healthy.
That's the biggest thing about his entire career was if he was healthy or when he was healthy.
I've never seen a player in my lifetime get more concussions than him. Like I was like, yo, I'm scared for you, dog. You get concussions every time I draft you, like because I see it. I have him on my fantasy team every year. I'm like, this nigga get a concussion like 2 every year, bro. Damn. Which ones? What are some of your records you got, Tyler and Tom?
I'm looking. I mean,
you got the chips. You got the.
I'll pull you up the records I got right here.
I opened up a Pandora.
17, 18, 19, 12. Even when I wasn't in there, I lost twice in the finals. 13 and 2020, I was there.
Yeah, you were like
14-2 in the finals. Nobody else really has the sort of record I do in the league.
Who else has the second most chips?
Most chips? Nobody has 2. And nobody's got 2.
So you got 5, and then nobody got 2.
I got 4.
4.
Okay.
I got 4. 1, 2, 3. The guys who won it aren't in the league anymore. It was 6 years ago to 8 years ago in that range. 2016, he's still in the league. And then I won it 3 years in a row. And then I went to the finals in 2020. Mikey won it. So, I mean, like the last 4 years. Even though I didn't win it last year, I went to the finals and I beat Nick. Every time, pretty much. Yeah.
2012 and 2017.
Tom Brady.
Yeah. We got that, playoff record. This is just 3 seasons, 17-24, but you're 1-1 in the playoffs. At least you made it out of the people who've been.
You know what? I remember it was that one
longevity.
Year. It was that year I drafted at that guy's house, man. I had a bad draft year. What's your old roommate?
Me and you. Jack. Me and you drafted in Jack's department.
I had an awful draft that year. Adrian Peterson got beat his kid, and then that shit, he was out the whole year.
Yeah, man. Ruined everything.
I'll never forget that. I was like, well, that was a waste of an 8th pick or whatever.
Yeah, and this is it. That we looked at it really quick. 3 people had the number 9 pick. But year by year, in 2012, I had the 11th. Barrett in 13 at the 2nd. 4th pick in the 14th. 9th pick, 15th. 7th pick. 3rd pick, 4th pick. So then we were looking at it. It's the 1st, 5th, and the 10th pick have never won the league. So the 1st overall pick has never won our league, which is like something we were looking at. It's kind of interesting. But the 9th pick is kind of interesting. And even just looking at it in terms of like if you were to look to see this on like a graph, it's either 9th, 11th. It's either 3, 4, 2, or it's 9th and 11th. It's kind of like there's nobody really. The 7th is like the outlier. Every other pick is at like the end or the beginning of the draft. There's never been a 12th overall pick. The back-to-back pick. There's never been a 1st overall pick. I don't exactly know what that means exactly, but it's something to know.
Where do you see on it?
There's a area where it's like record book on our fantasy football. I don't know if it's on the app. I don't know if it's on the app.
Yeah, on the top tab. In the green tab.
Website.
There's a record book, and then to find each individual season, like right under where it says Dirtbag Champions or Cup with the Donda House logo.
I got to
There's like a drop down of every year.
We just found that out today, like before we started recording.
Oh, wow.
Okay. We'll add that shit in there. We'll throw some stats in there. Yeah, because that's another thing is like 4 times the team with the most points scored in the regular season won the chip. Every time that I won the chip, I did not win the right. Am I reading that right? Every time that I won the chip, I did not have the most points. So it's like I'm the out. Like if I won it, I didn't have the first.
So 4 seasons. The team with the most points that finished most points won the championship. All 4 times Tom won the championship, he never had the most points scored. So that's 8 out of the 9 seasons, right? So the one season where it wasn't Tom that won or most points, Luke won the league and scored the least amount of points for the season.
Yeah. The 1 year.
He was dead last in points and won. the whole league.
What the fuck?
Like,
It's crazy, dude.
Bro, because
the craziest shit I've ever
he
seen.
beat me like the last week to get into the playoffs too. I remember that shit. I was so tight about that. And he ended up winning the league.
That's insane, dude. I don't think I've seen some bullshit happen though, because I've been on the end of some bull. But that's crazy, bro. That is insane.
Yeah. So if I finish the league with most points, like I'm not gonna win it. So maybe I gotta just fucking tank week 17 or week 14 right before the playoffs. Make sure I don't get that top spot. Wait, is there a bonus for getting most points? Right? Do we get like our money back?
Yeah, 100. 100 for most. 100 for most points. 100 for a bye. So if like you're one of the teams that gets both of them.
That's a good bonus.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we talk about all of that stuff in the first part of the podcast too. Like, that's kind of why we did it, so we have information out there. If somebody wants to, reference anything, the first hour that me and Tom did was just like a bunch of information for the league.
Bro, who drafted Stafford though?
He's not trying to.
I need to fucking know who drafted Stafford.
Dick pic dads.
Bro, see, that's why he's not in our league anymore, bro. Because, like, you drafted Matthew Stafford in 2012 over Peyton Manning and Calvin Johnson, all these other guys.
All the running backs or whoever was like, you know what I mean?
Why the fuck did we pick 6 quarterbacks in the first round, dude? Who did that?
That's good. You must have just thought that's how you drafted. What fucking shit is that?
Because of running. You can give me 10.
Aaron.
Yeah, when did Tom get a quarterback?
Stafford.
Oh, wow. You took RG3 in the third round.
Wait, what?
You drafted RG3.
What year is
He wasn't even starting for you by the end of the year.
What year was it? What year is it?
2012.
2012. The year that I won it, I drafted RG3 as my starting quarterback.
He got hurt. I think that was was that after his rookie year when he won Rookie of the Year though? Because then that probably makes sense though.
Dude, I gotta go see. I gotta
Which
go
year
back.
was that him and Luck got drafted? You remember, Nick?
Huh?
You remember what year was that him and
Yeah, was that the rookie year for them?
Were they this? Yeah, because Luck went in the 11th round.
In the 11th round? What round did I take RG3?
You took RG3 in the 5th and Matt Ryan in the 8th.
Oh, Matt Ryan was my starter.
Then you took Janikowski in the 9th.
Before Andrew Luck, dude. Fuck yeah. Yo, but Janikowski was my guy that year, dude. He carried me.
Janikowski was drafted ahead of Andrew Luck in this league.
I mean, he had
nice, dude. I had Jay Cutler. Love Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler. I just don't get like, damn. Okay, you grab Jay Cutler, but somebody grabbed Stafford 10 rounds ahead, and when you grab Cutler, they're damn near the same.
That's true.
And I probably never played Cutler either because I had Peyton.
True. Yeah, nah, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, bro, because I'm looking at my team from that year. I finished 9-4. I had Matt Ryan, Calvin Johnson, Demaryius Thomas, Crabtree, Mark Ingram, Vic Ballard.
Well, I haven't heard that name in so long.
Greg Olsen, Gronk. That's a solid little combo. D'Angelo Williams, who's decent as an RB2, RB3 back then.
Yeah, prime Greg Olsen.
And RG3, dude. Maybe I worked him in a couple games, but Matt Ryan, that was like prime Matt Ryan too. So it's like, especially for all those guys, dude, like, I don't know how good Matt Stafford did that year, but I took Matt Ryan in the 8th round.
That might have been one of his. You know, he was good for the fan. Don't get me wrong, Matt Stafford was good for fantasy.
Not first round good though.
Not first round.
He's never been first round good.
Maybe the 5,000 year. But I agree.
Coming into the year, yeah, like
I would never have taken him. I used to take Phillip Rivers all the time. Like, he was my fantasy quarterback every year. In like the 7th, 8th round, just grab Phillip Rivers.
That is fucking crazy. Damn,
Somebody
I
got him
had
in the first
1,200 points this year, though, so I didn't have a bad year that year.
1,200, damn.
I wonder if that.
Did you league?
I wonder if
So you
that.
never led the league in points, right?
Not when I won it.
Now
No,
we
so I
won.
didn't lead the league. That might not. That might include like the entire playoffs and everything.
What the fuck? Yo, listen to this trade. Fucking Cam traded Rashad Jennings, Jermaine Gresham, and he got these guys, right? He got Rashad Jennings, Jermaine Gresham, and Nate Washington, and traded away Jordy Nelson, Michael Turner, and Tony Gonzalez.
What?
That shit's crazy.
Yeah.
Cam joined the chat.
It was in the chat.
What up, dude?
What's happening?
Dude. Fucking not much, man.
Yeah.
My head is spinning.
From what?
Dude, what's going on with your Rocky Mountain connection?
I don't know. Is it bad? My head's spinning like a Kennedy. Is it dog piss? I can get on my computer.
No, it's good. I think you're good.
Yeah, it's probably you.
You're good. now.
Android. Dude, honestly, everyone else is blue.
You cut down, dog.
Oh man.
To keep it a buck.
Yeah.
To keep it a buck.
No, my internet's working here.
Gotta go over to you.
What's good, Chao, dude? What you been up to, man?
Dude, other than fucking ripping apart my old soccer coach in fantasy football this last week, working for billionaires, you know.
All right, let's get to it. Get him to talk about his shitty ass team that year. How the fuck would you have 40 points in a week?
When are you talking about in like 2012?
Yeah, let's go back to that year.
All right, let's
You
rewind.
set so many records. All right, are we recording, Tom? Let's record it.
Dude, we're
Oh, thank
recording,
God.
dude.
He's all ripped.
Did you change your name mid-season?
That's Nick's shit.
Oh,
I almost want to change my name back to the Blackwood Bastards.
bro, that is a throwback name. I mean, bro, I'm still Libby's fetus.
Van Libby's fetus hasn't failed you yet.
It
Failed her though.
hasn't, dude. All right, Cam. Bring it up to week 1.
Rewinding to rewind to 2012. You guys want a quick explanation?
Yeah, let's just like talk about where you were at in your life at that point in time before we get into this.
I think that's a big part of it is that I literally was strictly part of the league for camaraderie purposes and dick riding.
So it's just clout,
And
strictly for clout.
I looked up to you guys who all picked on me, and I just wanted to be part of your fantasy league.
That's fair.
And then I took a shit probably like the first week or two, and then was like,
No, we'll look through it, dude. It's week 4 where you started really falling off, but there are still
in that season.
Yeah, but there are still some questionable things that you can point to in terms of your draft, like getting CJ Spiller, dude. I don't know. I know you're a Bills fan, but you love CJ
So
Spiller.
can you? I'm not like I'm a fan by proxy. You know what I mean? Like I'm from there.
You're from Buffalo.
Can you? Yeah, I was born and raised. Yeah, I was actually born and raised in Buffalo and Denver. Believe it or not.
So you're a Buffalo Bronco?
Yep.
Buffalo Brown.
Yep. Can you read me my draft? Do you like have that in front of you?
I can't. I don't have the rounds, but I can read you the team you had week 1. All right. So you had Ben Roethlisberger. This is 2012. This is a solid pick. I'm sure you drafted him pretty early. Greg Jennings. I know that's your boy. Jordy Nelson. Another one of your boys back then. Lauren Robinson. This is where it starts to get a little sketchy. Yeah, you did have Aaron Hernandez on the squad. R.I.P. Yeah.
We're gonna, if we can omit that from the record, I don't need this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's not his fault. He had a guy who was doing drive-bys.
That's why you had
He was one of your best players, though, so it's not even like a knock.
That nigga already had 100 on the street.
There you go, Tyler. Some questions answer themselves.
All right, but continue on. You got Lauren Robinson as your wide receiver 3. And then your running backs are Arian Foster and Michael Bush. That's where you started to also go downhill. Michael Bush.
And who? Who was the first one?
Arian Foster.
Son, this is ridiculous. This is the most asinine football
And then
team.
you had Aaron Hernandez at tight end. And rounding off your bench, you had CJ Spiller. You decided not to start Tony Gonzalez week 1 over Aaron Hernandez. So you probably had the elite tight end strat. You had 2 of the top tight ends that year. I don't know what's up with that. Then probably your worst draft pick coming up is Matt Flynn. We'll get to him later, but he becomes a game changer for your season. And then Danny Amendola, Pierre Thomas, and Nate Burleson. And you also, another key draft. I mean, Gostkowski was a solid player for you, but I'm going to get to Detroit and how you just stuck with them all year, even though they were one of the worst defenses that year.
Well, see, that's the thing. And mind you, Tom, if you see me continue to move my mic, it's so I'm not breathing into it the whole fucking time like our draft.
Okay.
But here's my thing.
Okay.
I must have realized that I swear to God on my soul, I don't remember ever looking at my lineup, let alone after week 1 or 2. Like, I didn't have any knowledge.
Here's the narrative. We'll go through up to week 4, and then we can get into, like, how bad your team is, really. So week 1, you lose 94 to 108.
Jesus.
Not bad. You lose by, like 14 points. Not terrible. Week 2, 98 to 100. Nope. Another heartbreaking loss. Lost by 2. Week 3.
I couldn't take it.
Week 3 is 101 to 105, and that was just it. That one pushed you over the edge because when you came back week 4, I'm pretty sure you started Matt Flynn, and you only put up 59 points. And from then on out, 59 points looks like a good amount of offensive points for your team.
What? I was straight neglecting.
So then you went to 51.
Like Mikey.
Yeah, I'm going to list it off real quick. You went from 59 to 51.
Thank God, because
yeah,
go ahead, Tom.
I'm just going to list off your point lines for there where you went from 59, 51, won 2 weeks in a row, 80 to 64, 79 to 66. You had some promising games right there, but then you dropped right to 37. Right down to 37, week 8. That was a big, crucial moment for
Can
the
you
team.
see the lineup, bro? Can you see that I had probably 3 players in?
No, you have – all right, so a full lineup. You week 9, we had a full lineup in, and you put up 38 points. That's week 9. That's where I'm at right now.
It's like Nick's team now.
Yeah, week 10, 67. I think – and what is the week that I'm trying to get to that has 29 points, week 11?
I was getting progressively worse.
And then 20 points in week 12. And then right when the league finished up and playoffs started,
the record.
you got 29.
That still stand.
That's not getting beat.
Yeah.
Say that again, bro.
That's the record. The 20 points is the record for the league.
Yeah, 20 points is the record for the lowest points scored ever in this entire league. You have multiple records.
With a full lineup.
Yeah, you have multiple records where you have the least points scored in a game. You have negative points scored in some games. You have least points in least yards for the year.
I have negative points?
Yeah, there's one category, I think it was rushing, where you had -7 for a game.
That's fucking amazing.
Yeah,
so I think now that he's not here to protect himself, I can come out and say that I was in cahoots with Ronnie.
Wow.
Damn.
What did he give you, a gram?
At that time, could you imagine he gave me like a quarter of an auntie.
Oh my God.
Give me a gram.
He threw the league for some Reggie Lee.
Dude, he really did. 2012 Cam definitely threw the league for some Reggie.
I mean, my mindset was like, if it's not the end of the world, it's the end of this season for me. Then fuck it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's astonishing, man. I can't believe it. I really just think that I stopped giving a fuck. But it also, does it look like I went in and not gave a fuck, but went so far as to put in my worst players?
I can't fully analyze that, but there were a couple weeks where you just didn't set up your lineup, but then you came back and set up your lineup fully lost, and you were like, fuck it. Like,
yeah, see, that's what was doing it to me, bro. I was winning games I wouldn't pay attention to, and then I come back and goddamn, this season's been a doozy too, man. My teams are fucked in like both leagues.
I mean, dude, now it's Colorado Cam is in full effect. This is a new Cam. You're not the same 2012 Cam that you were.
Absolutely not. No, I wake up and I'm in the waivers, and then I go to sleep and I say goodnight to them.
Before we move on to this season, I just want to address one more thing from that 20.
Please address anything. I'm here for it.
I'm sure that there was a trade that included something on the back end because you gave Dick Pick Dads, Gio Doherty, Jordy Nelson, Michael Turner, and Tony Gonzalez for Rashad Jennings, Jermaine Gresham, and Nate Washington. I'm pretty sure that there was some Reggie involved with that exchange. Gio Doherty.
Maybe an Oxy.
No.
Big guy.
Remember Gio that went to Aquinas?
Gio Doherty. Yeah.
You don't remember the Reggie used to cop off him?
I guess I feel like I remember his face, but like very like blurrily.
Bro, Gio Doherty, he fucking had that like RV on his yard. He had his cousin and shit. I don't know how else to describe Gio Doherty.
And then there was another trade. There's another trade between you and Tyler.
Okay, talk to me.
Where you received Jacquizz Rodgers and the Jets defense for Arian Foster.
He just gave away.
What was going on,
dude?
Okay, one.
Come on. Well, you can say what you want.
Was that Rex Ryan?
Yo, all right. So I think
Rex Ryan D.
He ain't tripping.
That's why Arian Foster was nice.
But like, all right. So I feel like one main point.
Yeah.
Y'all had every possibility to veto it, or was that not invented yet?
I'm gonna say it wasn't invented yet, just to cover us. I don't know. If you don't know, I don't know, dude. It wasn't invented yet.
Okay. So vetoing wasn't a thing yet. There's that, and then I can imagine that like Ty or whoever Gio like traded with me hit me was like, like you're dog shit. Let me get whatever, and I just didn't care.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that happened.
I feel like the Arian you gave, because Arian Foster was your fourth overall pick in the draft you gave to Tyler. I feel like that was to get on the blunt.
I can almost guarantee he gave me an 8 type shit. I'd probably still have it. I'd probably put it in a box for safety.
No, I did, but Lambeau stole it back.
Doubt it, bro. I wouldn't doubt it. That man was still ODing back then.
Wow.